The prompt for your final exam will be: the MacArthur Foundation announced it will award $100 million to an organization that will use the money to solve a pressing social problem in a lasting and meaningful way. In the texts below, various community members expressed their views about this new MacArthur grant. Based on the collection of texts, to what extent does money influence social change? The first text, room for a debate. Can enough money solve a social problem? Brief synopsis. The MacArthur Foundation announced it will award $100 million to an organization that will use the money to solve a pressing social problem in a lasting and meaningful way. The New York Times, in the feature Room for Debate, encouraged different community members to respond to news of the grant. In text 1, Harvard professor Steven Pinker argues that the creative infusion of cash could alleviate social problems. However, mindsets and the moral psychology around money need to shift in order for this to happen. Text 1. Remember, money doesn't have to be the root of all evil. Steven Pinker is Johnstone Professor of Psychology at Harvard University and the author of The Better Angels of Our Nature, originally published in the New York Times on June 2, 2016. It may cost more than $100 million, but many social problems could be alleviated with the creative infusion of cash. Compensating organ donors could increase the supply of organs and save thousands of lives annually. Paying opium farmers in Afghanistan and Latin America to grow something else could bring an even larger dividend in averted addictions and wars. And why not neutralize opposition to reducing carbon emissions by reimbursing coal miners or the entire fossil fuel industry for their losses? A big impediment is our moral psychology. People hold certain values sacred, and the very thought of trading them off against other goods, particularly via money, is considered heinous. We see this in metaphors that equate financial transactions with moral treachery, sellout, buy-off, mercenary, whore. In one study, Israel and Palestinian extremists presented with a hypothetical peace deal were more opposed, indeed incensed, when it was sweetened with cash compensation from the United States and the European Union. Fortunately, human cognition is flexible, and the taboo surrounding a transaction can be mitigated if the transaction is conceived in alternative ways. Life insurance was once considered an outrage because it places a dollar value on human life and allows wives to bet their husbands will die. The insurance industry reframed it as an act of responsibility by husbands who would be fulfilling their duty to their families even when they were dead. People who are scandalized at the thought of paying organ donors in cash calm down when the compensation takes the form of tuition credits, health insurance, or a retirement contribution. As technology and globalization generate ever greater surpluses while disrupting traditional livelihoods, the challenge of reallocating money for moral purposes will become more acute. If profits from self-driving trucks are shared With unemployed truck drivers, everyone wins. Negative income taxes, a guaranteed income, and charities that give directly to beneficiaries are probably less corrupting than people think, and offer a pathway to enjoying the windfall of technological advances in the face of Luddites and isolationists, but only if we overcome the intuition that money is the root of all evil.